All right, check.
The York Revolution is on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
Onto the track, it is gone! It's gone!
Revs Baseball is brought to you by People's Bank, Wellspan Sports Medicine, Shipley Energy, Maple Donuts, Broadway Transmission, Flying Feet, Dasher Investment Services, York Mitsubishi, Kochman Kunkel Insurance Group, Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, Rudders, Pennsylvania Lottery, PSECU, Kona Ice, York County Bar Association, and by Downtown Inc.
Swing and a deep drive to right field. Watch this one go. He fires. Game over. Base hit. It's a fair ball. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He slides. He's in. Revs win it.
Now, with the call of today's game, here's the voice of the York Revolution, Darrell Henry.
Good evening, everyone, from New Britain Stadium here in New Britain, Connecticut. Welcome to game number 91 of York Revolution Baseball. It will not start on time tonight, but we are hopeful to play the next to last game of this road trip, the Revs and the New Britain Bees, here on a Saturday night. Revs coming in 5-0 on this road trip and having won 6 straight overall. 10 in a row on the road. That is a franchise record by twice the length of their previous record road winning streak. Hi again, everybody. Darrell Henry with you. Welcome to Revs Baseball here on what throughout the day had been a sunny, warm, early August day in Connecticut, but here in the last half hour or so, some threatening skies moving in. They had been keeping an eye on the threat of storms in the area around 6 p.m. or 6:30. Game time, of course, being 6:35 tonight. And there is a band rolling through, so they're shooting for a 7 p.m. first pitch, but we'll see about that. The tarp has just been put on the field. They just alerted the teams a short while ago that we would not start on time tonight, but I would expect this game to be played here this evening. It does not appear to be an all-night type of thing, but they don't want to start, have to stop, delay, and go through that whole charade. But the Revs winning here last night in the opener 6-4, and on this 6-game winning streak now, they've outscored opponents 53-12. Last night, though, was one of the closer games that they've had here on this winning streak, and they built an early 5-0 lead, somewhat early, built it by the 4th inning, held that 5-0 lead into the 5th inning, and then had to hang on. New Britain got within a run, scoring 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. They threatened just about every single inning from the 5th inning forward, not just threatening, but threatening to completely erase the Revs' lead and either tie or go in front in the game. But Revs pitching stranded 12 runners last night, held the Bees to 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position, and got the win to keep their record on this road trip flawless to this point. They come in tonight now 16-5, leading the Freedom Division second half standings by 2, which matches their largest division lead of the season, second time that they've been 2 games up. Overall now 50-40, and at 10 games over 500, it matches their highest mark since 2016, when they finished that season 12 games over. New Britain, meanwhile, has dropped 3 in a row, 6 out of the last 8, and they come in 7-13 in the second half with an overall record of 42-47. Tonight, once we get started, it'll be Mitch Atkins making the start for the Revs, 6-4 with a 2.92 ERA. Right-hander Corey Reardon will continue to try to help his team out through an injury situation. They said he had changed his arm angle, and Revs hitters did say that it was a knuckleball that he was throwing in York on Sunday, and obviously the velocity would have been the first clue on that. It was around the low 70s at its highest throughout the day, but the Revs absolutely abused him on Sunday at Peoples Bank Park in the 19-1 win. They scored 19 runs, 15 earned on 6 homers against him, 3 in that game by Melky Mesa. Reardon overall now 4-5 with an ERA of 5.86 after that game in York on Sunday. Coming up on our pregame tonight, we'll continue on here for the time being. We'll have highlights from last night's win. We'll get Mesa's thoughts on all of it coming up here as well. And first pitch for now is at an undetermined time, shooting for around 7 p.m., but we'll see if that comes to pass or not. Right now, the tarp is on the field as of probably 5 or 10 minutes ago. They rolled the tarp out, and we will see if these threatening skies and storms in the area develop into anything here actually at New Britain Stadium. But we'll continue with our pregame here in just a moment, here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
Baseball fans looking to cool down between innings? Rudders, the official beverage sponsor of the York Revolution, has the ticket. Grab 1 or 2 of Rudders' new smooth brewed iced teas at the concession stand. Rudders' teas are a home run. And after the game, visit a Rudders store on your way home to refuel your car and feed your appetite. Explore our award-winning menu, all cooked fresh. Plus, grab a Rudders Rewards card and become a Rudders VIP. Plus, don't miss the Fuelin' Up Summer Sweepstakes, featuring daily prizes as well as the chance to take home free coffee, free hot dogs, and free fuel for a year, or even cold, hard cash. More details at Rudders.com. Rudders, why go anywhere else?
Remember when an app was listen only? Oh yeah, that was kind of us, wasn't it? Well, we have a new app. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores and take Sports Radio 1350 on the go like never before. Listen on the go like always, and now get easier access to archived games and programs on demand. Watch WOYK game broadcasts on YouTube and so much more. Search the new WOYK on the Apple and Google Play stores and download today. It's not just an app, it's a lifestyle. Sports Radio 1350. First in York, first in sports. Downtown's ready. Are you? The Revs play here. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.
Revs here at New Britain tonight. Hopefully before too long, we are in a holding pattern and a delay. It will be here at the start of this game tonight. Some storms in the area. But we'll continue our pregame coverage and highlights from last night if you weren't with us. A 6-4 win for the Revs. The biggest night offensively came from Justin Trapp. He was on base all 5 times. 3 for 3 with a 2-run homer. He scored 3. Stole a couple of bases. He started the night with a first pitch single, stole second, eventually scored in the first on a Tejeda sac fly. And then in the second, after Skelton singled with 2 outs, Trapp taking advantage to extend the lead. Now the 3-1, swinging a high fly in left. Jared James backing up. Track wall, it is gone! Up over the scoreboard for Justin Trapp. And the Revs with a 3-0 lead here in the top of the second. A 2-run blast to left field. And Trapp with his 4th of the year. They've all come against New Britain. It's the 3rd that he has hit here in Connecticut. And the Revs have scored in each of the first 2 innings tonight, a 2-run blast, and they lead it 3-0. And that was in support of Joe Jones, who made his Revs debut last night. His first 4 innings were scoreless, ultimately went 4 1/3, 2 runs, and with that 3-0 lead in the 4th inning, again, it was the Revs extending an inning with 2 outs, this time Trapp doing it on a walk, and that brought Angelis Nina to the plate. First pitch to Nina. He swings, hits it high in the air, right field and deep. Collier back, looking, it's gone! Opposite field, 2-run home run. Nina with a shot the other way, and the Revs expand the lead to 5-0 here in the top of the 4th. Their second 2-run homer of the night, and Nina goes oppo. So a 5-0 lead at that point. In the bottom of the 4th inning, part of that scoreless start through 4 for Jones. Malky Mesa in left field coming up large with the leather. Jones nods yes, ready to go. The 1-0, swing and a line drive to left field. Oh, Melky dives and makes the play. holds it up. He steals potentially a run if it gets past him, a whole lot more. He gambled. He thought he could get there. He was right. Coming in shallow left, he dives and takes one away just above the turf, and the inning is over. And everybody's swarming Melky on his way into the dugout. Leaves 2 runners, and it remains 5-0. So that was huge. New Britain did get a couple of runs in the 5th inning, but Sam Burton came in, big strikeout and a ground out to squelch that threat. Then in the 6th, the Bees would get to Burton, who came back out for another frame, a bunt single and 2 walks, loading the bases with no outs. So at that point, Mace calling on Cesar Cabral, and he got a ground ball toward the middle that maybe could have been a double play from his first batter face, but it took a nasty hop on Dent. Hopped away from him, turned into an RBI infield hit instead, did not get any outs on that play, and the lead at that point had dwindled to 5-3. But Cabral came back, got a double play from the next hitter, ground out to end the inning with the tying run at third, the game 5-4 at that point. Then in the 7th inning, it was Julio Perez's turn, and he's had some of these high-wire setup acts here recently. Look no further than Wednesday night at Somerset when he got a huge double play with the bases loaded. He was greeted last night with back-to-back singles, but with Logan Moore at the plate, he bunted through an attempt, and pinch runner Joe Pilecki had strayed too far from second. James Skelton back-picked him, got him in a rundown, huge first out, momentum shifted, and Perez promptly got a pop-up and a strikeout to get out of that threat. It was Zach Collier at the plate with the tying run at second when Perez finished things off in the 7th. Another 0-2. Fastball. It's a called third strike. He struck him out looking. Fastball down at the bottom of the zone, and Collier rung up, and Perez escapes again. A scoreless 7th. The Bees had their first 2 men on. A pinch runner was caught stealing in a rundown, and Perez took that and ran with it. Got a quick pop-up and a K. So then in the 8th, the Revs missed a chance. They loaded the bases with 3 2-out walks. Could not score. It remained a 5-4 game. And Josh Judy coming in, his last outing at Somerset a couple of days earlier. He was under the weather and had struggled in that one, so he was looking to bounce back. But Rando Moreno, the 9th place hitter, working a leadoff walk against him. So right away, the tying run on again. And with 1 out after a failed bunt try, Moreno stole second. So the tying run was in scoring position. But Judy would get a ground out for the 2nd out, and that moved Moreno to third. And then the Revs trying to strand the tying run in scoring position for a 3rd straight inning, and at third base for the 2nd time in those 3 innings. Judy, the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball, second base. Nina right there. He gloves, he throws, inning over. And the Revs escape again. And Judge does it here in the 8th. Now in the 9th, Revs looking for insurance. They knew that the dangerous Jonathan Galvez would be leading off the bottom of the 9th inning. So increasing it to more than a 1-run lead certainly seemed like a good idea. And with 1 out, Melky Mesa, a double to left center. He is now 7 for 10 with 4 doubles the last 2 nights, and he was on for Ryan Dent. Now to 2-1. Swing and a line drive down the line in left field, base hit. And the Revs will pad the lead. Mesa around third to score. Dent into second with an RBI double. 6-4, they tack on the insurance run here in the 9th. And for Dent, his 7th RBI in the last 3 games. That set it up for Jamison McGrain in the bottom of the 9th. And he got Galvez to foul out for the 1st out. Jason Rogers, then a pinch hit single. So the Bees again would bring the tying run to the plate. But McGrain winning a 10-pitch battle with Ryan Jackson, who he struck out looking for the 2nd out. And that set up McGrain against Logan Moore, trying to put another one in the win column. 6-4 the lead. The pitch from McGrain. A ground ball, second base. Nina to his right. He's got it. Throw to first. Game over. And the Revs have won 10 in a row on the road. 6 for the final tonight. It's a 5-0 start to this road trip. They've won 6 straight overall and are now 16-5 in the second half, continuing the best start to a half in franchise history. 10 in a row on the road. Can you believe that? Now the Revs will try to keep that going tonight. There is some milling around the tarp. Looks like they're removing the sandbags, and perhaps we will remove the tarp here shortly and perhaps dodge these storms that were in the area. But we will be delayed tonight. We'll continue on radio, though, for now with our normal pregame routine. Mace will join us. The Broadway Transmission Manager's Report is coming up next.
Want to give your child the best birthday ever without hosting, planning, or cleanup work? Book a York Revolution birthday party at Peoples Bank Park. Parties include 2 hours of all-you-can-eat Kessler's hot dogs and pizza, goodie bags for all guests, and Penn State Children's Hospital playground wristbands. The birthday child gets a custom Revs jersey and throws out a first pitch, and the whole crowd sings happy birthday before the party enjoys a customized Revs birthday cake. Birthdays at a Revs game. Best birthday ever. Details at YorkRevolution.com or 717-801-HITS.
Cannonball Charlie's ready. Are you? The Revs play here. Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK, York.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse for the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup. It's time for the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. Now, here's the manager of the Revs, Mark Mason.
All right, Mace, we get a win here last night at New Britain, and they certainly had opportunities. Great job from your pitchers, your defense to squelch those opportunities time and again. What did you feel were some of the biggest moments, some of the biggest plays in the escapes, if you will, really, I guess, from at least fifth inning on, almost every inning?
Well, I mean, I thought the biggest play was when we back picked second base, and that was our first out that inning, I think. When Skelton threw down and we back picked there, that was a big one because I think that would have got them another run that inning. So instead of getting 3, they got 2. And Cabral did a great job getting out of that. He actually could have got out of there with nothing, but. That ball up the middle took a really bad hop on Dent, and he was right there. And then it actually just went 180 degrees the other way. So he was able to knock it down and keep it in the infield, which was a good move. But I'd say those were probably the two biggest plays that happened, and pretty much in the same inning. So I thought that was the key to keeping them where they were with 4 runs.
How'd you feel Jones handled his first start?
No, I thought he did really well. He does have a heavy ball live, good velocity, and this is a good fastball hitting team, New Britain. So he did a good job, throwing it by him even sometimes. But he located well. He got a little bit of trouble with a couple walks, but I mean overall, I thought for his first start here with us, I thought he did really well.
Obviously, Trapp was a huge spark at the top of the order, and how do you determine who you're going to go with, whether it's Trapp, Skelton at the top? They've both done a great job. Is it based on left-right a lot of the time?
Well, it was for a while, and now I think I'm just to the point where I'm just going to let Justin stay there. If I think certain matchups might benefit us to do something different, then I will, but last night, the first pitch of the game, he just rifles it right up the middle. And it's almost like we didn't miss a beat from Somerset. I don't know, we had 14 hits or whatever we had last night, but, we didn't get as many runs, as we normally do with that many hits. But, Tejeda missed 3 home runs by probably a total of 8 feet, which could have been a lot more runs on the board. And we had a lot of hard hit outs, so I think right now the guys just have a lot of confidence. They're having a lot of fun, so we just trying to keep it going.
Well, tonight it's a rematch of last Sunday at home, and Mitch was so dominant and the offense was so dominant, but Is it important to remember that every game is different, and that is not a gimme here tonight necessarily?
Absolutely. We saw what happened with Teasley. A guy throws 9 innings of perfect baseball and then can't get out of the, couldn't go more than 5 innings, and really probably should have been out of the game after 3. But, it's a different game. Sometimes you can smash the ball right at players. Sometimes you can hit it off the end of the bat and it falls in, and so you just never know. So every day's different. Take a good approach to the plate, and just keep swinging it like we've been.
From Reardon, with his current situation, speed-wise, it's definitely knuckleball speed. Are the guys saying that that's what he is throwing when they're coming back in?
Yeah, he is throwing a knuckleball, and he's throwing a little fastball to try to keep him off of it. It reminds you a lot of Joe Gannon, for everybody that remembers Joe when he was with Southern Maryland. But, Joe's knuckleball, when it was on, he could throw 9 innings and 60 pitches. It's just how it was. But, the only problem with the knuckleball is when it's not moving, it gets blasted. So, that's the best way I can say it. So, we'll see what happens tonight. We're going to have there's going to be a different view. Right side last night was left side. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see if we can make the adjustment. We're in a different ballpark. We're not at home, so we'll see.
Mason, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Revs manager Mark Mason on the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Well, they are folding up the tarp right now. The starting pitchers are out for their stretching and running routines in the outfield, and we do appear to be moving toward close to that 7 o'clock pushed back start time that they were looking for, and hopefully no further delays with that. We'll send you off to Fox Sports Radio for 15 or 20 minutes, but before we do that, take a look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard tonight. High Point is at Long Island. They are getting started here shortly. It is Edwin Carl for the Rockers, Joe Iorio for Long Island. Lancaster is at Sugar Land tonight, and Somerset is at Southern Maryland. David Holmberg against the league's only 10-game winner so far, Darrell Thompson, who's 10-6. The standings entering play tonight, Revs at 16-5 in the second half in the Freedom, and their lead is 2 over Sugar Land, 4.5 over Southern Maryland, and 8 over Lancaster, who did win last night, snapping their losing streak, and as a result, Sugar Land falling to 2 games behind the Revs in the second half standings. On the Liberty side, Long Island 10-10, half-game lead on High Point, who's won 4 in a row, 3-game lead on New Britain, who's dropped 3 straight, and Somerset 4.5 back. They have dropped 6 in a row, and 9 of the last 10. The other thing that we'll be keeping an eye on tonight is a former Rev who is starting in the majors once again. Ross Detweiler will start for the White Sox tonight against Aaron Nola in Philadelphia. We'll keep you updated on that one. And last night, Zach Groats did get in to make his major league debut for the Seattle Mariners. He finished their game, gave up 1 run in 2 innings, 1 hit. He did walk 2, has a 4.50 ERA through 2 innings in the majors, 1 appearance, and no matter what he did last night, it was going to be great to see him make that major league debut, and went 2 innings in doing so with just the 1 run. Well, we'll step aside for now, back to Fox Sports Radio for probably the next 15, maybe 20 minutes. We'll be back with you for starting lineups and first pitch tonight. Revs and the Bees, as we hopefully will get underway right about 7 p.m. That is the target time. And we'll be back for that here on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.